in the morning.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a pretty wild day in the soap world, and we are so glad you are here to break it all down with us. Grab a snack and get comfortable, because we have a lot of ground to cover today. And honestly, you guys, I am just so exhausted by Victor Newman and his constant need to crush everyone around him. But let's get right into the thick of it because the drama is just off the charts right now. The episode kicks off with Audra Charles and Sally Spectre sitting at Society, and the tension is just so thick you could cut it with a knife. Sally is spilling all the tea to her brunette bestie about how Victor is officially targeting Spectre Charles' communication. He wants Newman Media back, and he is willing to burn their entire company to the ground to get it. Both of these women are just incredibly frustrated. They are so annoyed that Victor simply cannot let this go. He just can't. He has to win every single time. So Sally tells Audra that she actually found out about this impending doom by eavesdropping on Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson. And of course, Audra immediately jumps to the worst possible conclusion. Audra is convinced that Adam and Chelsea are totally on Victor's side in this whole mess. But Sally, sweet and trusting Sally, actually reassures her friend. She says she trusts Adam and Chelsea when they say they don't support Victor's hostile takeover idea. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Audra for being paranoid, because let's be real, trust is a rare commodity in Genoa City. But Sally really believes that Adam and Chelsea are trying to help. Audra, being the absolute shark that she is, remarks that they shouldn't be playing defense right now. They need to play offense, short punches, go on the attack. Don't wait for Victor to strike first, and Sally actually agrees with her. Sally decides right then and there that they need to go speak directly to Victor, face to face. She already has a plan forming in her head for a deal they can present to him. Because that always works out so well, right? Who actually believes this is going to end well? But you have to admire Sally's bravery here. Meanwhile, over at the Newman Ranch, Victor is casually mentioning his master plan to take down Spectre Charles to Nick Newman. He wants Newman Media back, and he is laying out his strategy to his son. But Nick is absolutely not on board. Nick is completely unsupportive of this idea. He is so tired of the endless corporate warfare. Victor, being Victor, immediately deflects and blames someone else. He believes that Chelsea and Adam are only unsupportive because of Chelsea. He thinks Chelsea is exerting way too much influence over Adam. He always blames the women. Always. It is so classic Victor to think his son couldn't possibly just disagree with him on a moral level. Then the conversation shifts to a much heavier topic. They start talking about Nick's recovery. Nick says things are progressing well. He is doing the work. But Nick makes it very clear that he is much more interested in getting his career back on track than he is in falling back into his drug habits. He wants his life back. He specifically tells his father that he wants to return to his position as co-CEO at Newman Enterprises. He wants to work alongside Victoria Newman to rebuild the company. He wants to be useful again. But Victor shuts him down. Victor is worried that the extreme pressure of the corporate job might trigger a relapse for Nick. He wants Nick to solely focus on his recovery right now. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. It feels like Victor is using Nick's addiction as a convenient excuse to keep him out of power. Maybe I'm being too cynical, but Victor loves having absolute control. And then, thank goodness, Nikki Newman walks into the room. Nikki overhears this and immediately tells Victor he needs to rethink his stance. She fully supports Nick going back to work, and honestly, she makes the best point of the entire episode. As an addict herself, Nikki knows firsthand that having a career and a job to focus on gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a reason to get out of bed in the morning. She argues that having this purpose will actually reduce the risk of him relapsing. Nikki is so right here. She is just right. She knows the dark places your mind goes when you have nothing to do but sit around and think about your cravings. So then the scene shifts, and the ladies arrive at the ranch. Okay, so my notes from the episode were a little clunky here. First, it seemed like Sally and Chelsea went to the ranch to talk to Victor, but then it was Sally and Audra who actually pitched him. I'm just going to assume it was Sally and Audra who faced the music, because Chelsea standing there while Victor tears them apart makes zero sense given her current dynamic with Adam. The writers have been a little messy with continuity lately, but whatever. Sally and Audra are at the ranch. Nick is actually really sweet to them. He encourages them and explicitly tells them that he does not support his father's mission to destroy their company in South Carolina. They are so grateful for his support. It's a nice little moment of solidarity. Sally also takes a moment to express her concern about Nikki's injuries. We all know Nikki has been recovering from that awful eye surgery and her MS flare-ups, not to mention the emotional trauma of Victor's betrayal with Patty Williams a few episodes ago. But Mrs. Newman reassures Sally that she is doing fine. Nikki then asks Nick to take her for a walk to the stables, and they head outside, giving the ladies the floor just as Victor walks into the living room. And here he comes. Victor enters the room, smug, just so smug. You guys know the look. Sally and Audra tell Victor that they came to talk about Spectre Charles. And Victor, with that arrogant tone he always uses, sarcastically tells them he's so glad they stopped by, because SC will cease to exist as of tomorrow. He just drops that bomb like he's talking about the weather. He says he wants back what is his and what was stolen from him. After a bit of tense banter, Sally finally gets to make her pitch, and it is a really smart pitch, honestly. First, she makes it crystal clear that Billy Abbott is no longer a part of their company. So if Victor is doing this just to get revenge on Billy, he is wasting his time. Billy is out. He is gone. Furthermore, Sally reminds the mustache that they didn't steal Newman Media from him in the first place. That was Phyllis Summers. Phyllis is the one who took it, and the company was simply merged into Spectre Charles after the fact. Sally is laying out the facts perfectly. Bam, bam, bam. Since Newman Media is still in the very early stages of being merged into SC, the ladies propose a surprisingly simple solution. They offer to just sell the company back to Victor. They will sell it back. It would be quick, it would be easy, and it would be completely painless. No hostile takeover needed, no destroyed lives. Just a simple business transaction. Victor looks at them and asks, why on earth should he buy back something that already belongs to him? It is such a classic Victor response, but Sally pushes back. She reminds him that a full-blown corporate war is going to cost him a massive amount of money and resources. He might win, sure, but there is always a chance he could lose. Why take the risk when he can just write a check and have it over with? She makes a good point, a really good point. The fans on social media have been saying the exact same thing all week. And then Victor reveals his true colors. He looks right at Sally and tells her that he very much enjoys the battle. He loves it. He just loves it. He thrives on the chaos and the destruction of his enemies. It isn't about the money or the company anymore. It is about the thrill of the hunt. It is about crushing someone beneath his boot. This is the moment Sally tries to appeal to his sense of family. She asks him why he would risk fighting this war when it means alienating Adam and Nick. Both of his sons strongly disagree with what he is doing. Why push your family away just for the sake of a corporate battle? What were they thinking, writing Victor to be this cold? Actually, no, that is exactly who Victor is. Victor simply replies that he does not care. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care if his sons are mad at him. He doesn't care if he ruins Sally's life. And as Sally desperately continues to try and make her offer, Victor just smiles at her. That smug, self-satisfied smile. He knows he has the power, and he is going to use it to cause as much damage as possible. It is infuriating, but it makes for some incredibly dramatic television. I just don't know how Sally is going to get out of this one, but I am definitely going to be watching tomorrow to find out.